Black women over 40, you are not behind. You are aligned. We have been having a lot of conversation around retirement, starting over, becoming 50, and all the things, and just career pivoting and all the different things that we can pretty much have conversation about around evolving and aligning ourselves as we age, right? As we age gracefully. But sometimes timelines can put so much pressure on us, feeling like we're not where we're supposed to be, we're falling behind, and all the things. And one thing I've learned, there is no manual to this whole thing called life. You may have things ironed out, you may have things pinpointed, but baby, sometimes life can throw you the only curveball and you cannot recover from it, or you can recover from it. But at the end of the day, there's no rule book. Now, we do have rules that people have made up for us, like, society norms, family expectations, and not to mention social media. And sometimes as Black women, we can internalize comparison. We looking at Susie over here on social media. She's doing well. We looking at Barbara over here. I'm giving you all the old school names, right? We looking at Barbara over here and she's excelling. But at the end of the day, just because what you see does not always mean that's what it is. Because again, we all can be chameleons and we all can put a veil up, and on the inside can be straight rotten apple. So we cannot look at what's going on social media, and even in our friends' lives, even in our family lives. Everybody is going through something. If they're not going through something, that's great, that's good. But at the end of the day, my thing is, I don't care just because I look at you and I'm like, you know what? I'll take advice from him or her because I wouldn't mind trading lives. At the end of the day, we don't even know what that life is. We're just looking at the exterior. So we got to be very particular about even who we take advice from. Girl, that's another story. See how I be jumping? Let's carry on. So now we understand timeline pressures. What if your timeline is intentional? What if for you is how it's supposed to be? We get so caught up in, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Why is it happening now? I recently had some crazy crap happen to me. I don't even want to repeat what happened to me. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? Maybe I haven't learned a lesson along the way. So I look at it like, you know what, Kelly? Take it with a grain of salt, brush them shoulders off, tighten up that belt around that waist, and keep trucking. You never know what somebody's going through. So just make sure that your timeline is intentional and take your time, because you know what? This is your life. Have you ever sat back and felt like your life didn't make any sense? But when you look back at it, you like, that was informative. You know what? I was thinking that, this was wrong, this was this, but it kind of worked out the way it needed to work out. So sometimes our life can just make sense when we just look back at it. For example, seasons that might have felt like they were off track, but then they wound up being informative. You couldn't tell me, let me just give you some example. I have to give, even like with career, I can sit back and say, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it. X, Y, and Z. But then sometimes we make a decision and the decision may look good on the canvas, but on the inside and behind the frame and behind all the different things, it doesn't make sense. It could be the worst decision that you ever made. But you know what? You learn from it and you look at it as a lesson. But when you're moving forward, you look back and you'll say, you know what? I'm glad I did that because I was able to see now I'm going to stick with my gut and my intuition, and I'm going to not make those decisions. Now, it's a catch-22 in the streets, okay? It's a catch-22. But sometimes we just have to look back and see what made sense and what didn't make sense. Because sometimes, like I said, it could be informative when you look back. And another thing, delays. You're like, why is it not happening for me? Why is it not happening for me? Keisha over here, she getting it and I can't get it. I'm doing the same thing she doing. Bah, 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 bah. Guess what? Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's timeline is different. Sometimes delays are good. Delays are good. So sometimes you gotta sit in it, see what the message is. And right now, let me tell you something. I don't know what aura I got going on right now, but baby, I am loving it. And I'm going to hold tight to it because I'm coming to realize delays are good. I'm learning that in career. I'm learning that in life. I'm learning that as a mother. I'm learning that as a daughter. I'm learning that as a friend. I'm learning so many different things in this season of my life. And I even know the next season I'm going to learn something different. I might even learn even more extended things in them categories that I just mentioned. Who knows? But I'm here for it. Delays, delays, delays. And let's bring an honorary mention. The missed opportunities. You feel like you missed your spot. You missed your time. You missed this. You missed that. No, baby. No missed opportunities over here. Those were redirections. Let me tell you something. There has been so many moments in my life where I felt like, oh my God, I missed out. I missed out. But it redirected me in a different way. And I feel like even when it comes to my career, I felt like, oh, I should have took that opportunity, or I should apply for this opportunity, or I should have just did whatever I was supposed to do to get an opportunity, but I didn't do it. But it wound up redirecting me in a different way, and it wound up being a blessing. And also, as I mentioned before, I took an opportunity, and it wound up being a full disaster. But it was a lesson for me I needed to learn, and I learned my lesson very quickly. It was a little burn. It was a little burn, but I learned my lesson. I'll give you some more information about that. But how do we redefine success in our midlife? How do we do that? Don't be so hard on yourself. That's for one. You can write your own story. I'm sitting back looking at how I just recently did a vision board, and I brought you guys along with me. You can create the life that you want. We talk so much about retirement. Retirement popped in my head. I've always thought about retirement. I always thought about, you make sure you invest in right, doing this and doing that. But I think I've really been taking it by the horns as this last month, because I had a rude awakening. Yes, you may have your cushion, you may have this, and it can hold you. But when I actually sat back and said, you know what? This cannot be life. This cannot be life. And when I went at it hard. And I'm in it hard, and I'm taking you along my journey. I'm sharing what I know, you sharing what you know with me and everything like that. But I am definitely going to take you on my journey to retirement. Kelly is going to retire, however that looks. If it's semi-retirement, if it's full retirement, or if it's retirement from the hustle and bustle. Kelly is going to retire. I am saying it again. Kelly is going to retire. And I want you to say that same thing to yourself. Your name, I am going to retire. Because at the end of the day, we create this life. We can't sit and wait for the government. We sit and wait for the government, then we sit here losing out on our life. And then, I sit back and think, I know I'm going off. But at the end of the day, it all aligns. The way that the boomers retired is different from the way the Gen X retired. It's going damn to be different way millennials and Gen Z retire. Boomers retired. It was work till you can't work no more, and hope and pray that you can survive. Some of the older Gen Xers, they on that same path. You better do what you're supposed to do. You better follow how it go. No. That's why they made 401. They may have not explained it to you. That's why they said save your money, invest your money. Everybody is not privy to this information. Well, you know what? We are privy to. We just don't want to sit back and learn it. That's something that, I can sit and say for myself. I just get enough so where I can, do what I'm supposed to do. But now, oh no, baby. Oh no. New series coming up. My retirement journey. So back to redefining midlife and what success looks like for you, for myself, and things like that. What does that look like? Peace over pressure. And as I mentioned, I don't want to do the hustle and bustle no more. I don't care about, well, you got to keep grinding out. No, you don't. This is all system and society norms. Yes, some things we do have to follow, and we do have to kind of like, but it's some things that we can really say, you know what, let me think about this. I look at so many people that I know that retired, but yet went back into the workforce for whatever reason. If it was part-time, for just having social, having camaraderie, just want to keep themselves active, or just want to have a supplemental income. I look at all it, but then I look at the reasons. It's not like it's some people who are just doing it and not taking it. Well, they take it serious, they're not taking it too serious, but it's for those who want to take it too serious, where they want to. Girl, I'm over here venting. Let me shut up. Let's move along. But another way to find success and to have midlife look the way you want it to look is just to have that alignment. And do that alignment for you, and don't do it for applause. Like, don't do your alignment and people say, girl, you did a good job. Look at you. You're doing well for yourself. Da-da-da. No. Do it for you. Do everything in quiet. Do everything behind closed doors. Let them think you sitting here and you are fully struggling. Okay? Let them think that. And you just be sitting back having a good time. And also choosing fulfillment over urgency. Sometimes we get so caught up in just doing. Gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta be here, gotta be there. Trying to spread yourself so thin. And you forget to fulfill your own needs and fill your own cup. Some of us are pouring from an empty cup. Some of us get a little bit, fill the cup a little bit, and then we pour it out, give it to somebody else and forget about ourselves. You can't do that. You cannot do that. So, in saying that, you know I got to give you an affirmation, because at one point I was giving out my little affirmations and I kind of forgot a little bit, but here we are. I am not late. I am ready. Okay? We like that. Nice, cute, short, and simple. Because we're ready. We're ready for new beginnings. We're ready for alignment. We're ready for what we deserve. So, if you enjoyed this conversation, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, hype it up. You know what to do. And, hang out with your girl. And if you know another Black woman over 40 who would love conversations like this, tell her, come on over here, join the community so we can have a like-minded women to be here with us. I'll catch you in the next one.